Hi everybody, welcome back. I realise I haven't done a video in quite some time, but I have done quite a lot of work since the last time I posted. I've just kind of finished all of the kind of planning, I would guess you would say, about where everything's going. So I'll give you a quick kind of tour around of the current state of the machine. I think it's probably the best way of going through this. So of course we've seen this before. This is the kind of where all the balls enter the machine and they get distributed out. I haven't really done much here, although I have added this little lift down in the bottom here. So this is where like one of the return tracks, and there's a lift to take it back up to the where the two chain lifts are. So let's go anti-clockwise because that's actually the way I built the machine, but hey, you know, who knows? Yeah, so obviously we've seen all this before. This is some more support towers. So the main thing I was doing was actually straightening this all out. So I use these little, where are they gone? So what I do to kind of line everything up is I use these long kind of just red rods with orange connectors, and I just kind of fixate these to kind of points on the machine, such as here and here, and I check that everything lines up. And so that's what I was doing. It's actually the first time I've ever really had a big problem where, because of the sheer size of this thing, although it may not seem large in the context of things, it's just nothing really lined up. So that's what I spent most of the day doing, amongst other things. Anyway, so yeah, moving on. So this wall is now in line, so you can, if you look down the machine from this angle, everything should look more or less lined up now. The best way to look at this is down through here, which I quite like. Looking right down this really long section. So yeah, that looks pretty straight to me. I lined it up with the tape measure as well, so everything should be good. Cool, so anyway, going back to this, so yeah, nothing's really changed on this side of the machine. I have now added this large girder thing to the top of here, so this connects up the kind of left and right side of the towers. I've just placed that there for now because I'm going to reuse it, but what I've done is I put the small wheel lift back in, right in the middle of this tower, and that up there will be the highest point this goes to. Again, you can see one of these kind of lining up rods. So this will, take the camera all the way back over here. So my next plan is to build an arch from sort of here all the way across the top of this light to this tower over here, and then that will support what is the kind of top, the most highest point of the machine, where there'll be some paths going down from there. Cool, so yeah, I've just again, these are the sliding towers that I join up, and there's a big gap here with some crap in it, but this will be completely open so you can walk through to the back of the machine. All the stuff you see over there is just loose and just lying around. I haven't really found a use for it yet. I've also been strengthening up this tower because it was pretty unsturdy, if that's a word, or unstable. Just wanted to fall down. I've added, or I reused the spiral lift from Knex, and that just sits here now. I'm not sure where I'm going to connect that to. I'll probably come back to that in just a second, actually, about where everything's going. And then we have this kind of small little wheel lift that I've created. I did a video on that previously, but this is now much larger. I think there's how many are now? 7 or 6? Yeah, 6 wheels on it. There's sort of a chain this side, and then there's I was experimenting with 2 different types of way of driving this, and then direct drive this side. That's kind of working. And then just kind of connecting everything up now, so everything is connected to the tower. So yeah, getting everything lined up, and then I've just added this final kind of support tower here with nothing on it except some tyres in a bag for weight, just to sort of stress test it. And then I've just put this back in again. This is just another part from Knex. So I think that was quite a lot to go over in one video. See, I've obviously talked about this side of the tower, this side of the machine quite a bit, my plans for that side, but I haven't really gone through this side as much, and that was kind of what I guess I've been working on recently. So if we start over here, there's basically this thing here is the splitter for this side of the machine, and there'll be 4 networks on this side. So I guess, talking of lifts, this would be one of the first ones, and so this will take balls up based on these little wheels, and then there's going to be a chain lift in here, and that goes all the way up to the top of this 8-way splitter. So that's kind of network number 1. If you can see this on the camera, there's a kind of a metallic section over there. So what that's going to be is another network in which there's going to be quite a lot of lifts all clustered together in a small location, and that will feed these two pieces here. And then there's going to be network number 3 is this spiral here. There's going to be obviously some other lifts attached to the top of this to take it up higher, and I guess this will fill this kind of space. I guess, I'm not entirely sure just yet. And then finally, the 4th network will basically be, probably, because I'm not sure what to do, is a chain lift that's here, and that will take this all the way up, right up here, where that will split out and go into this, right to the top. I think. I'm not entirely sure yet how that will come together. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for watching. I think that should give you a good indication of where I am in the project. I did some actual calculations on the machine with the tape measure while I had it. At the moment, it's roughly something like 32 meters cubed in volume. I mean, that may not sound like a lot, but the previous machine I built was 8 cubic meters in volume, roughly. So this is currently something like 4 times the size or 4 times the space. So yeah, I'm not sure how dense it will be in terms of mathematical density. That sounds a really stupid thing to say, but I don't know how many elements I'm going to squeeze into this. I'm basically just going to run out of pieces, which there is. I've got an awful lot left to build. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully see you again soon. Bye.